There's an e-commerce brand here in China that has around 30 million visitors per day. It sells almost absolutely everything and accounts for around 1/5 of all of China's e-commerce. But outside of China, it's probably unheard of. This is JD.com, China's second largest e-commerce brand and one of the fastest growing brands in the world. JD.com started out 14 years ago, selling what is called the 3 C's: cameras, computers, and communication equipment. Now, it sells everything from fridges to fashion, iPhones to ice cream, and fulfills more than 1.2 billion orders a year. And its revenues are growing at up to 120% a year. JD.com has been growing faster than the e-commerce sector as a whole here in China. And we'll look at why that is. But it's also been riding a tremendous wave of consumer interest in shopping online. So what's behind such dramatic growth in China's e-commerce market? Laura Zhong is JD's Chief Brand Officer.
The offline retailer environment or the offline retailer is relatively underdeveloped, okay, compared with those developed markets like US or West Europe. The overall product selection and the price as well as the retailer service is not as good as those Western market. Particularly in the tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 cities, okay? This actually gives some opportunity for the online e-commerce to provide more selection of the products as well as the better quality service to the customer and allow the e-commerce grow very, very dramatically.
Part of JD.com's success has been the millions of Chinese consumers that have gone online and also the tremendous switch from desktops to mobile devices. Of course, the 10 years of China's economic growth has meant that millions of Chinese consumers have become middle class and have the ability to spend money and shop. And shop they have.
China's economic growth has created the world's largest middle class, people who have money to spend and are increasingly discerning about how they spend it.
And those group of people, consumers, they are looking for quality product, quality service. This also gave the e-commerce, particularly like the JD.com, because we're committed to give consumer the superior shopping experience, a great opportunity to grow.
So how does it work? Well, essentially it's a platform, a little bit like Amazon, I suppose, but what really differentiates it here in China from the other e-commerce heavy hitter Alibaba is, unlike Alibaba, JD.com own all their own inventory. This is one of JD.com's 7,000 delivery stations right across China, being fed by a massive 5.5 million square meters worth of warehouse space.
JD's big online rival, Alibaba, holds no stock at all. It's a digital marketplace, while at JD.com, the company controls every step of the purchase process from click right through to delivery.
It is a key differentiator. I mean, in the early years, of course, we were questioned by a lot of external, like investor or or other like voice say, okay, JD.com is a very heavy operate like a business model, okay, and that model not necessarily workable from long-term standpoint. But our founder, he has very strong belief, okay, that customer looking forward that, okay, customer wants that, and all we need to do is deliver the best possible shopping experience to customer. And what are they? The quality product and the quality service. And in order to get there, we have to build our own warehouse to ensure the quality of the product. And we have to build our own warehouse in order to give the customer very fast speed delivery.
But it is a very expensive way to operate.
It is. It is. But the good thing is that gives us a great opportunity to differentiate it from others and also give us like best possible shopping experience to our customer. And now JD.com become more and more mid-class Chinese family, Chinese consumer preferred choice shopping platform. Preferred shopping platform for them. And that's why you see our business growth. It's way faster than our competitors and also the industry average. Actually, in past couple years, our growth rate, it's almost double, okay, double the industry average.
JD.com has become one of the fastest growing brands, not just in this country, but the world. With a brand value of nearly $10 billion US, it's shot into the top 20 of the BrandZ most valuable Chinese brands. And among global retail brands, it's worth more than some of the longest serving names in retail history, like Macy's, 7-Eleven and Tesco's. In 2016, JD.com posted the second fastest growth in brand value in the BrandZ Top 100 Most Valuable Global Brands. The only global brand name to grow its brand faster was Amazon. It's difficult to overstate the importance of e-commerce in China today. JD.com alone has more than 200 million active customers, and they're frequent shoppers. On average, they buy something from JD.com more than 20 times a year, and 80% of purchases are made using a mobile phone. Altogether, China is now a bigger e-commerce market than the United States. In fact, it's the biggest e-commerce market in the world. Shoppers here are spending more than $600 billion online each year, and that spending is on track to keep on growing. Some forecasters expect e-commerce to account for more than 40% of all private consumption here in China by 2020.
A few years ago, people were saying this was a market that really wouldn't work in terms of e-commerce. Not that many people had credit cards, and those people that did wouldn't want to use it online. And the infrastructure in terms of delivery was poor as well. This was very much a market that operated on cash.
E-shopping has taken off here in China, not just because people now have the means to do it and the money in their pockets. It's because the likes of JD.com and Alibaba have made it easier and safe. They've borrowed from the best of what they've seen brands like Amazon and Ocado do, then given them uniquely Chinese characteristics. Alibaba got around the payment problem by launching Alipay, its own secure payment system. And JD.com customers can pay cash on delivery or can pay using their mobile phones. One of JD.com's most important ventures has been to link up with WeChat, the mobile phone app that just about everyone here in China uses. JD customers can now browse and buy what they want and pay for their items without ever leaving a WeChat conversation. And this in turn is big ammunition in JD's battle with Alibaba.
WeChat's like a combination of WhatsApp and Facebook and a lot more besides. It's a portal here in China through which you can do almost anything. You can order a cup of coffee, you can transfer money to friends, you can pay for a taxi ride. You can also play games and have entertainment through the portal, and you can even put a deposit down for your next car. Mine's, I think, is going to be this Maserati here.
Apart from all these new ways to pay, JD.com has been leading international e-commerce by exploring new ways to get packages to people who want them. When online shopping first started here, 10 days or more could pass by between you placing an order and receiving your delivery. Now, in major cities, delivery times are just down to a couple of hours.
And they've invested in delivery and delivering fast by controlling the entire delivery supply chain. It's enabled JD to give a much better consumer experience, whether it's delivery people who ring you up an hour before they're going to deliver to check that you're there, or boxes like these where you can be given a code to put into the machine and then the box opens. These are located at convenient locations that suit the consumers depending on where they happen to live or where they happen to work. Delivery by drones are a long way off in markets that we would consider to be more developed. But here in China, JD.com are already using drones to deliver to consumers. They've used them very successfully in the recent 11/11 sales campaign.
JD's drones can deliver packages weighing up to 25 kilos each and make a 60-kilometre round trip before they need recharging. This is great not just for getting parcels out fast, but also for reaching consumers in more isolated parts of the country where access by road is still difficult.
It was fantastic, but of course, I won't say, today it's everywhere. We are still in the early stage. We need to continuously drive in that area. And the good thing is the progress is very encouraging.
So where did this hugely successful company, JD.com, come from? It was the brainchild of founder Richard Liu, a computer programmer and entrepreneur who is still JD.com's chief executive. He keeps a low profile compared to Alibaba's Jack Ma, but he led the company to a public listing on the Nasdaq exchange in 2014, 4 months ahead of Alibaba's record-breaking IPO. Curiously, it was the outbreak of the respiratory disease SARS in China all the way back in 2003 that really marked a turning point for the business. Consumers suddenly stopped going out shopping because they were worried about catching SARS. So, home delivery services like JD.com instantly became appealing to hundreds of thousands of new Chinese consumers. And once they tried it, they were hooked. JD has been evolving fast ever since. It also built up a reputation for making sure that when customers ordered a brand item, what they receive is genuine. This is hugely important in a market where many consumers are quite rightly concerned about buying fakes. More recently, JD.com has moved into grocery sales, teaming up in 2016 with the US-based retailer Walmart. Walmart now has a stake in JD.com worth close to $8 billion. A pretty big vote of confidence in the potential of online grocery. Chinese shoppers can now go online to buy everyday items from fresh fish and vegetables to cooking sauces and baby milk powder. The huge challenge with grocery, apart from keeping food fresh, is that people spend a lot less per shop than they do when buying electricals. So the cost of delivering those groceries is comparatively high. Yet people buy groceries so often that to win their loyalty, over the long term would be a massive strategic win. JD.com thinks that potential prize is worth investing in now.
We're not making money on the grocery today, but we believe, okay, with the scale, as we build the scale, hit the critical mass, and also we optimize our fulfillment cost, like we put use our big data to put the right product combination in one warehouse. So when consumer place the order, we don't need to send the product from different areas to them. So we optimize all those operations. I think in future we can make this as a from scale standpoint, it's a huge category, but also make like a decent money from there. It is a very, very critical category, strategically critical category to us.
Clearly, because you've got the aspect of, very high frequency and very high
engagement. Exactly. Very high frequency and very loyal, sticky to the platform.
In 2012, it launched an English language website for global suppliers to reach Chinese consumers. And in 2015, a Russian version of JD.com aimed at Russian consumers went live. The business has also launched in Indonesia. Its strategy is to focus on fast-growing or emerging markets. But there's also plenty more growth to be had for JD.com at home. Internet penetration in China is still only about 50%, so that means there's still 500 million potential new customers out there. And of course, there are new ways of doing things better for existing customers. JD.com is moving into the Internet of Things. It's thinking big about how not just to be part of the way people shop, but having a more central role in every aspect of consumers' lives, linking technology with the vast amount of data it's collecting to tailor services to individuals.
For JD.com, there is two devices we are actually doing right now. Both of them are already in the market. One is you're talking about this audio talking stuff, like the Amazon Echo. We call it Ding Dong, okay? And this not just provide give away for consumer to place place the order, but also to interact with consumer for provide a lot of services. Okay, you can get the music, you can get the news, weather report, you can check a lot of information. From this device. And at the same time, we are also working to a lot of strategic partners to upload different services. For example, you can place the taxi, and you can do all other the dry clean, those stuff. Okay, so that's one. The other one is the refrigerator. Okay, because this is also to some extent to help consumer better manage their fresh products, right? So the refrigerator with those interaction. So it's connected. Then they will remind you, oh, your some fresh goods will be almost expired, so you should take it as soon as possible.
That's a refrigerator with sensors inside, with cameras inside.
Yes.
That can
with
see
sensors inside, with screen outside, so you can see the inside, and they will remind you.
JD.com is also using technology to make its supply chain more efficient. Much of that involves using its big data. Everything is known about what shoppers buy and how they behave to give customers a better, more bespoke service.
When you open our app, we will give consumer their customized recommendation, product recommendation. When they search a certain category, we will give them customized recommendation. So that is also improve the shopping experience, more efficient, right?
And customization also improves the rate of sale, does it? Or
Exactly.
Big data is also what's fueling JD Finance, a new service that gives people access to credit, largely based on what JD knows about their spending and payment habits. In some ways then, JD.com is shifting away from being a logistics-driven company and becoming a technology-driven company.
Lot of things we need to transform, and we are exactly in the right time to think about that and to set the direction, and then we do this transformation step by step.
There are also signs that as part of this evolution, JD.com might move into bricks and mortar retailing, catching the current wave of offline to online, or O to O.
I won't call it O to O. I call as a retailer, I think if our operation principle or value is customer centric, then we need to think where the customer shop, right? And today, if you look at most of the customer, they don't do one channel. They do multiple channels, okay? Sometimes they do online, sometimes they do offline. Some category they do online, some category they do offline. So yes, we build a very successful business model, online, e-commerce. But I think from long-term standpoint, JD with ourselves, we also need to think about how can we meet the customer's needs in the different channels. So offline is definitely one area we need to learn, we need to explore.
As this 14-year-old company looks to how it might change over the next few years, there are a couple of key trends. One, it will be a much bigger business, with many new sources of revenue, as it exports services like data and logistics to other companies. And two, new technology, including big data and the Internet of Things, will become a more core part of the company.
One thing I don't think that will change is our customer-centric philosophy. That one remains same, because we believe no matter how external changes, we can leverage those technology, but the fundamental, understand the customer needs, delight them, or even exceed their expectation. It's our fundamentals of the business.
JD.com has come a long way since those early days of selling just those 3 C's: cameras, computers, and communication. And already it's shaping up to be a business that, in the next few years, is driven more by technology and data than it is by the process of getting products from A to B. So the JD.com of the future may look very different, and it may operate in quite a different way. But it will be fundamentally a customer-centric business. But you can be sure that what it won't be is the Chinese e-commerce giant that so many people across the world have never heard of.
Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. To find out more about the BrandZ Top 100 Most Valuable Chinese Brands for 2017, just go to www.brandz.com. And to find out how WPP can help you build strong and valuable brands here in China, just contact me, David Roth.